Muy bien, vamos a comenzar. Hola a todos. ¿Alguna duda, alguna pregunta que quieran hacer? ¿Todo bien? ¿Cómo les está yendo con Duolingo? Eso sí me gustaría, como tener más retroalimentación de su parte. ¿Alguien está teniendo problemas? ¿Siente que está muy fácil? No sé. Pero quiero escucharlos respecto a eso. Claudia, dime.
Yo tengo una duda. ¿Están haciendo una certificación? ¿Lo había mencionado usted, profe?
Sí, la certificación es una buena pregunta. Igual, si hay varios nuevos, esto les puede interesar. La certificación ustedes la pueden hacer en cualquier momento, ¿sí? Eh, lo ideal es que lo hagan cuando terminen el curso de Duolingo, pero pues lo pueden hacer en cualquier momento. Obviamente, mientras más conocimientos tengan, mejor puntaje van a obtener, o bueno, se supone.
Claro.
La idea aquí es que me parece que nada más es psicología y arquitectura. Psicología se los aseguro al 100%, arquitectura creo que, o sea, tengo mis dudas todavía, pero son las que les piden certificarse mínimo como nivel A2, me parece, para poder titularse. Entonces, tómenlo en cuenta los que están en psicología. La ventaja de la certificación de Duolingo es que es muy barata comparada con otras y se acepta en muchísimos lugares, inclusive la SEP la va a aceptar. Entonces, es una buena opción comparado, debe andar como entre 1,500, entre 1,200 y 1,500 pesos mexicanos, como $60, más o menos. Este, a diferencia del First Certificate, el TOEFL y otras que sí pueden costar hasta 4 o 5 mil pesos, o 250, $300. Depende lo que quieran certificar y en dónde. Entonces, se los recomiendo porque es una muy buena opción.
Y la capacitación de Duolingo es la app, ¿cierto? O sea, hay que terminar todos los módulos de la app.
Exacto,
Mm,
sí,
ok.
esto sí creo que cambió este año respecto a que pueden hacer con una prueba de la certificación, pero si no es así, yo podría ayudarlos, a quien esté interesado, obviamente, en hacer un simulacro de esa certificación. Lo que sí, ¿alguien ha hecho certificaciones de inglés? Los que están conectados ahorita.
Pues yo TOEFL, pero lo más que obtuve fueron 497 puntos.
¿Hace cuánto lo hiciste?
No, bueno, ya hace como 5 años. Tal vez tenga un poquito más, pero realmente lo que me da en la torre es sintaxis. O sea, que ajá, porque el listening y el reading me va muy bien, pero es grammar es justamente la que me da en la torre.
Ok, sí, eso definitivamente es algo que puedes checar y precisamente es uno de los puntos débiles de Duolingo. ¿Cuántos puntos dijiste que sacaste?
497 es un B2.
Es intermedio.
Ujú.
B2 está bastante bien. Digo, o sea,
Pues
me refiero a que para intercambios y cosas así, no tendrías problemas.
no, pero por ejemplo para trabajos, por ejemplo yo estoy en ingeniería en sistemas,
Oh, ya.
entonces pues, por
Ya,
lo
ya.
menos me piden un C1.
Sí, ya, ya. Sí, sí, aparte que es vocabulario muy especializado.
Sí.
Sí, pero si estás en B2 hace 5 años, yo creo que sin problemas puedes llegar a un C1. Ahora, el asunto, una cosa que funciona mucho para practicar este tema de la sintaxis y la gramática es como tomarse este tiempo. Yo lo hago, les repito, ya lo sé de tener hartos con esta comparación, pero yo en Duolingo estoy estudiando japonés y entonces me topé con este problema de la gramática precisamente. Una forma que a mí me sirvió mucho para entender estas estructuras es como tomarme el tiempo de ver los enunciados y analizar cómo se están componiendo. Ahora, yo quiero suponer, Claudia, si no es así, dime, que ya para un B2 tienes un vocabulario bastante aceptable. Ya no,
Sí.
ya no tienes mucho problema con las palabras y sobre todo con identificar la función de las palabras, ya pensando un poquito más en sintaxis.
Ujú. No, ese no es el problema. El problema es, por ejemplo, cuando, pues, por ejemplo, en TOEFL te preguntan de esta frase que está mal. Uf, o sea, entiendo qué es lo que dice y todo, pero de repente el I am o am I, que es lo correcto, ni los norteamericanos lo utilizan, pues, ¿no? Que de repente se pronuncia de una forma o lo dicen normalmente de otra, pero sintácticamente o gramaticalmente está mal estructurada. Y eso es lo que te lo cuentan en TOEFL.
Claro. Ahora también, si lo hiciste hace 5 años, te voy a preguntar algo. ¿Cómo me dices en inglés, cómo me preguntas si tú estás equivocada?
Ah, am I wrong?
Exactamente. Afírmamelo.
Yes, I'm wrong.
Niégalo.
Not, I'm not wrong.
Dúdalo.
Do I am wrong?
Ahí la duda sería igual. ¿Am I wrong?
Am I wrong? Okay.
Ah, sí, ya veo por dónde puedes tener esa duda. Sí, donde la mayoría de los alumnos se enfrentan a estos problemas es con, por ejemplo, los auxiliares. Tú recurriste al uso de auxiliar para expresar la duda, pero realmente es lo mismo que la pregunta, ¿no? Yo siento que con práctica lo puedes sacar sin problemas. Ahora, hay una cosa que a mí me pasó cuando hice mi primera certificación, antes de hacer la de maestro, yo hice el de Cambridge, que es un poquito diferente. Algo que a mí me sirvió muchísimo, no les voy a negar que yo para ese no estudié nada. Simplemente con lo que yo ya sabía, dije, pues a ver qué pasa, ¿no? Y lo que usaba mucho era, esto me suena raro, o sea, suena a algo que diría, no sé, algún actor, y con eso me saqué un C1 en la primera prueba. Entonces, el asunto es entrenar el oído acá. Obviamente, si quieren, podemos revisar de forma más académica todo esto, pero pues no sé.
A mí lo que me pasa, teacher, es que a un latino con el acento le entiendo, pero a un nativo no.
Es que también depende de dónde es el nativo, ¿eh? Yo, yo,
Nativo de Estados Unidos.
yo creí que sabía inglés hasta que fui a Escocia. Fueron
No,
los 2 días más,
en
más
Europa es
difíciles.
peor. En
Ah,
Europa es peor, en Inglaterra, uy.
ahora también, ese es un detalle, le entiendes a un latino, no estoy diciendo que todos, porque acá hay muchos ejemplos de latinos que hablan muy bien, en este salón me refiero, y no tienen un acento marcado. Yo digo que el acento está bien, no siento que es algo que sea un freno, siempre y cuando se puedan dar a entender. Si la pronunciación es una cosa, el acento es otra. Entonces, yo creo que eso también lo puedes solucionar con prácticas ya más orientadas a la conversación, Rosner. Es lo que he intentado hacer, a lo mejor con las últimas 2 clases me fui más a otros ejercicios, pero las ideas de conversar son mucho más prácticas para hacer esto. Es más, vamos a hacer un ejercicio y quiero, tanto Claudia, Rosner, quiero que participen en esto. Pero voy a escoger a una víctima. Alma, no te enojes. Lo que pasa es que ya sé que siempre me respondes. ¿Andas por ahí?
Sí, 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 todo bien. Acá ando.
Okay, let's start with something easy. I want you to try to imagine that you are talking with someone who is still learning English. I think that in your case, you are pretty much done in this process, but how would you help someone who is still learning? For example, give me a practical example, a practical situation would be better.
Okay, well, helping someone learning English, I know.
Sorry, no. Helping someone in a very specific situation, but this person that you are going to help is someone who is still learning.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, when I was teaching kids from kindergarten and how do you say primaria?
Elementary or grammar school.
Elementary school, I used a lot of songs. I mean, it's a great way to learn English and practice your listening and speaking. So it's a cool way of learning English, listening to songs.
Yes, but I think that you're misunderstanding me. For example, you are fluent in English, okay? And you
Okay.
are in the what could be New York subway,
Hmm.
and you see someone who is not from the United States, and he or she is struggling to understand. He or she is still learning English. I want you to create an hypothetical situation where you can help these people. Give me like I did. You are in the subway, and let's do this in a more practical way because I think I'm over confusing things. Uh,
Okay.
Sorry, sometimes it happens. Claudia, you are traveling to the United States for the first time in your life, and you are in New York subway system, and you are lost. I want you to try to ask Alma for something. You are going to create a whole situation. Where are you going to go? What do you want to do? Why are you lost? Maybe you are on a tight schedule and you have to be somewhere soon. You are going to create this situation, the both of you. Okay?
Okay, I described the situation.
Yes,
Or
yes. Describe the situation so Alma can help you.
okay, hello Alma. I want I need to go to Central Park in New York, right? Or where
Yeah.
I am? Yeah. Uh, will you help me to figure where uh, what subway take to go to Central Park, please? Because I'm late for an interview, work interview, and I need to go the faster as way as possible. It's right. It's okay that expression. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, Claudia. Where well, you have to. Okay. Now I think in this situation, Claudia doesn't understand very well English. Teacher, the
No, I don't
situation.
know.
So
You are going to discover it. Maybe you're
okay,
going
okay,
to give her a explanation talking too fast, and if she doesn't understand what you're saying, she has to tell you. Okay?
oh, okay, 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 okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Claudia. Well, you have to buy your ticket of $3 so you can make your way to Central Park. You're going to pick the yellow subway and you're going to pick the direction of Central Park. And you just have to take that subway and he's going to land you there.
Okay, and what is the name of the station? And
Central Park, like that.
Central
Central
Park.
Park.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Thank you. 60 pesos. It's too expensive.
Don't be like that, please. It's like, obviously, this is not the case, but I've seen people, especially from Latin America and especially specifically from Mexico, who tried to bargain the price of the subway. And he's like, no, this is not going to happen. You have to pay the full price. there are no discounts, and no. But the case here is that, Claudia, I think that that Alma's instructions were pretty clear. But can you repeat the instructions?
Sure. I'm going to take the yellow subway. But well, first I need to buy my ticket. The price of the ticket, it's $3, and then I gonna take the yellow subway, and I stop on in the Central Park station. How do you say bajar o salir del subterráneo? Ajá, get up. And then, okay.
Pretty good. I think that Alma made a very good service here. You're not going to get lost in Central Park, especially at night. That could be very
Oh my God.
yes,
No.
very good, excellent.
Thank you, Alma.
Thank you. Thank you, Clau.
One thing that I was wondering about is why do you know each other's names if you were not acquaintances? But that's just me being silly. Very good. Yes, Claudia?
We were using gaffettes.
Okay,
Lashes.
now, same situation, Claudia, you are going to help Rosnel. Imagine the whole situation, the both of you are going to create this scenario, and I want you to help him. Okay?
Okay. But in the same to go to Central Park or
No, no, no.
anywhere.
Please create a new
Okay.
setting.
Rosnell, where do you go? Where do you need to go?
Hello, Claudia.
Hello.
Okay. In my case, I need to go to Disney World in the LA, but I don't know what I should do, what I should do, what I should do, because
Okay.
I never, uh, I haven't traveled to US. It's my first time, and I feel so nervous because I came to lost in the LA and and I not arrived to Disney.
And where are you? Where are you? In what city?
In this moment, I am in Las Vegas.
Okay, in Las Vegas. Let me see a map. Well, Rosel, I advise you. You can visit the website of I don't know where
Mhm.
travel it that
You,
com,
you
and then you can select the day and the hours that you can fly. You need to buy the ticket. Then I advise you that you uh, um,
I think that I should to buy a ticket of a bus ticket. Uh,
but I need to say apartar un taxi o algún tipo de guía para poder saber.
Reservation.
And then you make a reservation to maybe a cab service, because when you arrive to LA, you maybe don't find taxis or cabs to go to Disney World. So you need to be sure to what will be your way to translate you? No, to uh, I'm sorry. I'm
Don't
trying
worry.
to how to uh,
Mhm.
what will be your way of transportation to the airport to Disney World or to your hotel? Disney World is the main uh,
Mm.
place to visit in LA, so you can ask for a native where how to um, arrive there. But maybe if you reserve a cab, your experience will be better and easier. I don't know.
Okay. Thanks for your help, and I think I will arrive to Disney as soon as possible.
Okay.
Very good.
How we do teacher?
Very good. Now, the thing here is that you were getting more confused with the instructions that you were creating than with the situation itself. It's
Yeah.
good. You did a very good job here. Just one thing, it's a local, not native.
Ah,
That
okay.
sounds like,
Local.
yeah, that sounds like we are going to conquer you,
What is conquer?
conquistar.
Oh, okay, okay. It's
Native.
true.
It's okay when you talk about
Local.
language speaking. Like, yes, I'm an English native, for example,
Mhm.
but it's not okay when you say you're going to ask some of the natives where to go
Mm,
or where to take a taxi because it
it's
sounds weird.
pejorative.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds rude,
Rude.
and you can get misunderstood. In my experience, and I want to share this with all of you, and obviously people who have traveled to other countries probably experience this too. In 99% of the cases, people from other countries are going to help you when they see that you are in trouble, that you don't understand the language, you're lost. Most people are going to be happy to help, especially in Latin America. I've seen this, and in other cases, they're not so open to do it. Some of them are quite reluctant, but in the end, you are going to find someone to help you. The thing here is that you have to ask in the proper way. In this, obviously, I'm not talking about any of the examples that you did, both
No.
Rosnel, Alma, and Claudia. This is not the case, but in my experience, I've seen some people that are pretty rude when asking, especially,
Okay.
to be honest, people from the United States are used to this attitude that you have to serve me because you're in this job, you have to serve me and I want it now.
Okay.
And I've seen that and it's pretty rude and no one wants to help them because of that.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, this is not the case, I repeat. Not at
Okay.
all. Very good. Now, Rosnell, you have to do the same thing. Choose a classmate and do the same thing, please. Or you can ask for a volunteer. Or I can choose one. Let me see who's around. Rafael, are you around?
What did I do?
Nothing yet. But
Hi,
Rosnell is
everybody.
going to help you. Rosnell is going to help you with. You're going to create the scenario.
I missed the first 20 minutes. I just turned on my computer because I was running late today, so I'm not sure what we're talking about.
Okay, no problem. It's a simple exercise. It's a conversation, actually, dialogue, more specifically. And for example, Alma and Claudia created this situation where one of them was looking to get to Central Park, and the other was helping her. In the second example, Claudia helped Rosnell to get to Disneyland. Disneyland or Disney World, I don't remember, but the idea is quite the same. You're going to create a setup and a scenario to create this dialogue, but you are going to decide who's going to help who. But go ahead.
Disneyland is like 30 minutes from where I live, right? So I can talk about Disneyland all day long. Just because. So I live in Dana Point, and from Dana Point to Anaheim, which is where Disneyland is in California, because there's a bunch of Disneylands, it's probably about 25-minute drive without traffic. So, um, who am I asking? Just anybody or one of the two girls?
No, I don't know who is going to help who. Rosnell is going to help you, or you are going to help Rosnell. You
My
choose.
English, my English is not so good, and so um, can you help me? Can you help me? So, can you help me instead, um, en vez de yo, pues, en vez de mí.
Okay, so Rafael, you're going to help Rosnell. Where
Mhm.
do you want to go, or what do you want to do, Rosnell?
Rafael, I need to go to LA airport because my vacation is finished in the US. So in this moment I am o yo me encuentro. I am in San Francisco. So I need to go to the LA airport. What do you think that I should to do by to uh, by to arrive to the LA airport?
Your microphone is off, Rafael.
Thank you. Sorry. I'm just trying to get my machine set up because I usually run while I'm listening to the class. So I'm sorry, I was just distracted. I was saying it really depends how you want to get to LAX or Los Angeles airport, because from San Francisco to LA, it's usually about 8 to 10 hour drive. So you would have to rent a car, get on the road, head on the 5 freeway, which will take you across the entire state. That freeway goes from Tijuana all the way to Canada. So once you rent the car, get on the freeway, look for the sign southbound towards LA. You'll probably have to drive for about 8 to 10 hours, depending on traffic, depending on the time of the day. And once you're on the 5, you're gonna have to merge on the 405, which is another freeway that takes you actually to LAX. They kind of split once you're going down, like once you come down the hills and you start going on to like LA area, they will split up because those are the two main freeways that will take you pretty much anywhere from the beginning of LA all the way to the 405 ends at like Lake Forest, which is probably a good, I would say a good 100 miles long, and then they kind of merge together again. So if you went all the way down there, you already passed it. Make sure that you just follow the signs. You'll see 5 South and you'll see 405. Once you're on the 405, it'll take you directly to the airport. You shouldn't miss it. It's big signs, big letters announcing the freeway, so you should be able to get there.
So I travel a day before to my ¿cómo se dice viaje? Travel, to my travel. Um, because I don't have any problems with the traffic.
Ideally, if depending on the time of the day you're flying out of ALX, LAX is it's a pretty big airport, so you'll probably need to be there. If you're traveling back to, I'm not sure where you're from, Mexico, or I'm not sure where you're from.
Honduras. I'm from
Honduras. So
Honduras.
you'll go international. So you probably go to Tom Brady, which is the international gate that takes you to to the plane and whatnot. But you probably want to be there 3 hours before your flight. So if you account the 10-hour drive plus your 3 hours prior to the flight, so you'll need 13 hours I think coming a day before your flight might be a better choice, and getting a hotel locally in LA will help you get there in time.
Thanks for your advice. So, uh, was a great help. Ayuda, no sé si, a great help.
Mhm. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Quite some instructions. There were a lot.
I fly throughout the states myself, so I know my ways
Yeah,
around.
very specific. That
I,
was
I'm
very good.
I'm on the road. I usually do about 100 flights a year because I travel throughout the states for work, and I know my ways around. But you could have taken a flight from San Francisco to LAX and then fly out of LAX to Honduras, but that's just another way of doing it.
One question here, just being curious, how does this rent car how is it in terms that San Francisco is in the Bay Area and you go down to LA, right? And how does this rent a car situation works? Your mic is off.
There's a big company, one of the most popular companies here that rent cars. It's called Enterprise Car Rental. So you'll usually book a car, prior to your flight or the day you're gonna get it. So you make a reservation. They'll either bring you the car or you'll get picked up and they'll take you to get the car, and then you can drive wherever you want to go. Uber, Lyft, any other method of getting to the rental place it's a good choice too. So it really depends. I do a lot of Uber, so I get to the airports and I'll Uber to the hotel, or I'll Uber to my house, or my other place where I go to, and Uber for me is the way to go.
Very good. Yeah, well, I have never rented a car.
Yeah,
Or
with the companies here, they'll even pick you up. So if you're at a hotel and you don't have a way to get to them, they'll pick you up, they'll take you there, or if you're a member of their club, they'll bring the car to you, and then they'll just drop it off, and you can take it from there. You can rent it in one state and drop it off in another one if you want to do a road trip. Last year, I took a road trip from California all the way to Orlando, and I rented a car here and I dropped it off over there. And then coming back, I just booked a flight for my kids and my wife, and we end up flying on our way back. But there's a lot of different ways you can go about it.
quite different here in Mexico, to be honest. But yeah, I've never been in a place where I need to rent a car.
In all Latin American.
Yes, I think one of the most frightening experiences I ever had when not renting, when booking a travel by a van in this case was in Peru. I think that the trip to Machu Picchu is frightening for me. It's quite different. Very good. Ok. ¿Cómo llegamos a Shaka de Virgo, David? ¿Qué pasó ahí? También no entiendo lo de American Woman. Explíquenme. David, Samantha. No, nada más por curiosidad. ¿Por qué me ignoran? Very good. Now, to finish, well, we still have some time. Yes, David, go. David.
Pensé que era por poner nuestro personaje favorito, disculpe.
Ok, no te preocupes. A mí también me gustan bastante los Caballeros del Zodiaco. No, César, no hay niveles. Bien, well, let's use the rest of the class to, creating like a little debate. I really like that. What topic is interesting these days for you? I don't want to be partial, so there's a lot of things. What happened today at the boxing event in Olympics was quite all over the place. Alma, yes.
Yeah, I just going to talk about the Olympics because it's something heavy. Well, I mean, it's many topics we can talk about the Olympics. Sorry if I'm a little too far, but I'm washing my dishes. But talking about religious, we can talk about the how do you say burla, like
Mockery.
yeah, mockery. Yeah, I had a mockery about the last topper, or also I am seeing a topic about the trans. How do you say in English? Trans? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's an English word.
Oh, okay.
Transformer.
So about girls being incompetent with trans. I mean, I'm not okay with that, and I was seeing about all this stuff. So I don't know. There are many topics.
Actually, well, you mentioned three topics. I've read something. I'm not really following the Olympic Games, but well, I was really interested in the opening ceremony because the band that played Gojira is one of my favorite bands. So that was quite an impression because I was not aware that they were going to play during the inauguration. But what you say about the mockery of the Last Supper? That's quite interesting. The at first the organization spokesperson said that this was not the Last Supper. This was the Supper of Baco. I don't remember the name in English, to be honest, but it was a different painting.
Yeah.
But a lot of people took it like it was a mockery to Christianity. What do you think? The rest of you, I want to hear you. Uh-huh. Alma, unless you want to add something. Oh, yes,
Rodrigo,
Rodrigo. Yes.
Rodrigo.
Sorry. Rodrigo, go.
Digo, ya que nadie se anima a crear controversia, a ver. Well, firstly, more than to be a kind of joke or muffin, I think that the most important problem in that is how they are trying to include, how to say, I didn't know this, but somebody told me that in this scene there are a little girl, and I think beside her it's a man who in the legs or in the legs, ¿cómo se dice entrepierna?
Crutch. Crutch.
Crotch? Well, in their crotch, you can see the big, how to say, intimate
Penis.
parts. Their big eggs is a kind of to introduce or to be as pedophilia as something normal. It was interesting that kind of point of view because that's the pedophile people who is trying to be included in all the movies that LGBT, etc. I think it's a good point of view because all the people distract in if that was a reference to the Last Supper or another painting. Um, but I think they're losing the relevance of the importance of that kind of situation that I try to make it. I don't understand why try to did it. Everything that in the opening ceremony did it was good because try to show the French culture, but this part doesn't sense for me. But there are a lot of opinions about it was the Last Supper or not, and the theme of be included, especially that part, the pedophilia. So that generates me a lot of uh, I don't know how to say, but I don't know if somebody else noticed that.
I did, and I was thinking about if this was a problem of interpretation, but I think it's not. It's pretty open. And if you are not aware, you should take a look at what Germany is trying to do regarding pedophiles. They are trying, in some cases and with some regulations, they are trying to remove pedophile as a crime to be listed as a philia. It's not longer to be a crime under certain circumstances, obviously, but I think that's a big step back in law related topics. Yes, Rafael.
Yeah, definitely.
I would just say kill them all.
I agree with that. I think that that
Yeah,
penalty should be applied to pedophiles no matter what, because there's a lot of crimes, a lot of behaviors that can be explainable through psychology, maybe, but I think that that's not something I would step back. I think that something to be addressed quickly because there are increasing numbers every year, and this is I don't know. I cannot agree with this. I think this is wrong, and
Ah, but I think the all legals supports the that philia could be, and we should fight uh, before that. I mean, uh, in, in the law, in so many countries, the child now have a rights. It calls sexual rights. And why a child have sexual rights? Because the child didn't have sex, but now it is, and that's the way the pedophilias uh, uh, impose that ideology, right? And the people didn't fight in the moment the the, the law gives a child sexual rights, and now the pedophiles uh, said that if the child have the right, they could love them, right? So I agree it's a crime, but it's too complicated now to raise a hand if we didn't do anything in the moment the law changed to that. But I don't know.
I think, and this is a very personal opinion, so don't kill me after saying this. I think that the real problem is that we have let things to come to this point. Like you say, like you said, sorry, why children should have sexual rights in the way they are putting the situation. They should not be exposed to some situations. I know that through history, This happened a lot of times, but in a regular environment, it should not come to this. I think that it's very complicated, like you said, and in the end, I don't know if you're aware how pedophiles or child rapists are received in prison. That's quite a welcome, and that's the only form of justice that some of them are going to receive.
Do you see the movie Sound of Freedom
Sound of Freedom.
of Eduardo Verástegui?
No, no, I haven't. I'm aware of
You
that. But
should.
I haven't.
It's a reality that the trata de personas in Mexico is so common. And I live in Jalisco. Jalisco is the first place in the world of pedophilia, and that's why Zapopan have the nickname Ciudad de los Niños. And the government are involved in that subject, but I don't know.
Unfortunately, all the politics are involved, I think, because they try to hide this situation in major scale. So here in Mexico, in Latin America, and they translate it to Europe, unfortunately. So it's a big problem.
Now that you mentioned this, Claudia, close to Puebla in Tlaxcala is one of the biggest human trafficking networks for prostitution, and this has been around for decades, and no one is doing nothing. The government knows, the police knows, but it continues to happen. And what would be a solution for this? Obviously, change government, change corrupt police, corporations, and that. But why has this not happened yet?
Because we need heroes. Heroes who
We could be heroes.
who could that die for that
This is a
object.
world so evil.
I didn't understand you, Rosnell.
Uh, we are in a world full of evil.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you, that's a very good idea, but I'm going to ask you, do you think the world today is more evil, or we are more aware of that evil happening?
Second.
I think it's more evil. The people lost the purpose and lost the religion and meaning of their lives. So they just live and experience the world around them only for their feelings, and they think it's good. The truth or the bad, it's not there even exist in the new generations. It's only that I think, and that is my truth, and that's why we are more evil.
Okay, Rafael?
I think it's a mix of both because with technology and how news get related and go like so quick from country to country, you are more aware of everything that's happening. But at the same time, we're just getting worse. Like every day, I think there's a lot more crazy people out there than they were before. And going back to like the prostitution and all that, it goes back hundreds of years since Sodoma y Gomorrah. So it's just a big business. As long as there's money involved, there's always going to be somebody who's willing to do it to make an extra dollar or a peso.
That's quite right, and I think that we tend to to have a romantic point of view towards some things. For example, like you mentioned, prostitution has been around for thousands of years. It's not for free that a lot of people call them the oldest job in the world. But being more critic about this, there was this idea of romanticizing pirates or mafia during the 30s, 40s in the United States, in the same way that people tend to have this romantic idea about narcos and things like that. In my opinion, and this is only my opinion, this this trend of romanticizing or creating this narco culture is it's a nail in the coffin. It's wrong. It's stupid. I can't stand for this kind of music that sings about these persons and think of them as heroes. But I think that's the second part. Like you said, it's a mixture of both things. Evil has been around since the dawn of men, but now we tend to do those things. Kids are not longer desiring to grow up to be a doctor. A lot of them trying are growing up to be narcos, and it's like this is what you are aspiring to. Why? This is something that we should ask ourselves, especially around some cities, some countries in Latin America. At the same time, I have a very strong opinion about drugs. It's like if there is a supply, it's because there's a demand, and probably Trump is going to shoot me in some point for saying that. And Tlaxcala does exist, Rodrigo. I've been in there quite some times. Rafael, sorry, I interrupted you. Go.
No, I was just gonna say that si no quieren ser doctores, quieren ser reggaetoneros sin ofender a nadie.
As a musician, I have an opinion on that. I think that reggaeton is a music genre, and that's okay. But it's a product. It doesn't offer this musical experience that some other genres can, in my opinion.
Junk.
Sorry?
Junk or trash.
Yeah, yeah.
Trash
Yeah,
music.
it's okay if someone likes it, but don't try to defend this like this was a musical revolution in terms that they are proposing something new. They're talking about sex, they're talking about drugs, they're talking about power. Okay, let me tell you that hip hop did that 30 years ago in a more true way, if you ask me. But
There is a fact that the music have a vibrations, different vibrations and hertz, and some music like Mozart and etc. have a level of hertz who sanan the body, and other musics have lower vibration like reggaeton or others uh, sick the body. It's a fact, and that's why some music it's better than others.
yeah, then if that's true, I have like this posture about music. If that's true, I'm screwed because I really like extreme death metal music. So probably it's going to be a problem for me in the future.
Yeah.
But I think in the end, if you understand, for example, when you talk about metal, a lot of people think that you are a Satanist and you are a criminal or you are violent or you name it. And the truth is that most of us are not like that. Not not by chance, but in the end, people have these ideas. Probably we have these preconceptions about reggaeton that are not precise, because probably there are a lot of good people that only likes the music, and I don't know, could be. But if you ask me, I honestly prefer classical music to reggaeton for a number of reasons. But I'm saying that you should not listen to it if you enjoy it and you're not uh, harming no one. But that's okay. But when you have these ideas that I want to grow up to be a narco because this song tells me to that this is a very good option, I think there's a problem. I should be solved with education, not with prohibition of some musical genre.
But teacher, Pink Floyd have 4032 hertz, so it's good music.
Probably you're going to hate me after saying this because I really like rock and metal, like I told you, but I have never been a fan of Pink Floyd, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I know, I know. A lot of my friends are like, You're insane. How can you not like Pink Floyd?" But
Like thrash metal.
Just turn off the
Sorry?
light.
In Mexico, for example, I like thrash metal.
Sorry. Rodrigo first, and then Rosner.
I'm sorry. You need to turn off the light, agarrar un porro y escuchar a Pink Floyd. Your perception is gonna be changing.
Yeah, probably. That's what a friend told me about Jimi Hendrix too. At least until now, I can listen to Jimi Hendrix and feel this whole experience without any drugs. I'm not criticizing.
Oh yeah,
If
totally.
someone does, I think
Yeah.
it's very good to experience things. But the thing is that, like that, I have never felt like Pink Floyd hitting me hard. For example, I'm more of a Deep Purple fan. I think that they really hit me hard with their music. And
Oh
Pink
yeah.
Floyd, I know they are different. I think that Deep Purple is more related to Led Zeppelin than Pink Floyd. But all the music from that era is quite interesting. I'm not saying that Pink Floyd are bad,
Do you,
obviously. Yes, yes,
do you like Tool?
They are.
yes. I like Tool, but I don't like their fans.
Or you are heart? No, how do you say difícil to taste of music?
Not hard, but I have a very specific taste of music. To be honest, my two favorite musical genres is metal, almost all metal, and classical music. I can listen to Cannibal Corpse
Okay.
blasting through my headphones, and the next song probably is going to be Vivaldi. And I absolutely love
Okay.
the feeling of those changes. I love music, but again, for example, Tool is quite interesting to hear, to listen closely. But their fans are not nice. They're like, "Oh, it's the best band in the world, and if you don't like it and don't worship them, you suck." And I'm sorry, man.
I like Tool because they use the mathematics method and the progressions, Pythagoras progressions. So it's so smart music for me, for my opinion.
Yes, exactly. I think that they are not a product. They are. They are. It's very premeditated music and
Yeah.
planned music would be. Yes, and Maynard James Keenan is a genius. And you can agree or disagree on this, but if you try to analyze this as a music with a music major, you will realize that there are a lot of things going on there. Rafael, yes.
As much as I love music and speak the language, I could not listen to música en inglés. I just can't. I know who they are. Jimi Hendrix. Like some of his songs. I do listen to music from time to time. But I'm not a big fan of like música en inglés for some reason, and I just don't mix. It's just I don't know why. And I do like music. It's just I think for me, I need to be able to understand the lyrics, and if I'm not reading it, even though I speak the language, I still have a really hard time understanding what they're saying, especially with the some of these bands. It's just all you hear is just noises, and it's like, okay, I don't understand it. I can't comprehend what they're saying, and I think that's probably why I'm not a big fan of la música en inglés for whatever reason.
But when you say music in English, are you talking to a specific genre or just the language?
Just in general, actually. Ed Sheeran, I hear some of his songs. Adele, maybe. I'm a big fan of rock and roll, but in Spanish. You know, like Rata Blanca, Mago de Oz. I mean, you can, but I can understand what they're saying. But with the English music, I can't understand it. So I have a hard time.
Yeah, there are quite some good bands in Latin America, rock and roll metal bands that whose lyrics are in Spanish. Rata Blanca, I really like them.
Trans metal para el metal, just there's a lot of good bands. Interpuesto, si te gusta el blues, maybe lead and roll. I'm more of a mellow, I guess, music. I love Johann Sebastian Bach, classical music. I mean, I can relate to you. I can go from a nice classical song to a really loud rock and roll song, and I enjoy both of them. But as long as I can understand what they're saying and the lyrics on it, I think it's important for me.
Yeah, obviously, because lyrics are the ultimate way of connecting with a band. Yeah, I understand that. Very good. Excellent. I think that we have a very multifaceted discussion today. We talk about a lot of things. That's good. Very good. Bien, vamos a dejarlo hasta aquí. Dime, Rodrigo.
Aprovechando que ya está despidiendo. La próxima semana veo que va a haber conferencias en los horarios de las 7. La pregunta es si martes y jueves va a seguir habiendo bueno, inglés. Club
Es una excelente
conversacional.
pregunta. No me han dicho lo contrario, entonces yo creo que no hay problema, pero de todas formas, si llegara a moverse, les avisarán por su Classroom. Yo creo que no, porque no me han dicho nada, pero de todas formas estoy pendiente. ¿Va?
Ok.
Muy bien. Entonces, que tengan excelente noche, excelente fin de semana, cuídense mucho y nos vemos el martes. ¿Va?
Bye, teacher.
Gracias.
Thank you, teacher.
Muchas gracias. Buenas noches a todos.